Charles Oliveira, the man with the most submissions in UFC history, the former lightweight king, and one of the most dangerous finishers the sport has ever seen. But what if I told you he could be the one to end Ilia Topuria's undefeated streak? In today's video, we are breaking down how Oliveira could pull off a stunning win over Ilia Topuria. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Ilia Topuria has looked unstoppable. Crisp boxing, brutal power, and a rock-solid ground game. But Charles Oliveira is the definition of chaos. He's been in deep waters with killers like Poirier, Chandler, Gaethje, and even Islam Makhachev. And he finishes fights early, often, and violently. From the start, Charles does what he does best. Walk forward, no feeling out process, just pressure. He mixes up long teep kicks, knees down the middle, and tight boxing combinations to push Ilia backwards. Ilia loves to control the center, but Charles can force him to fight off the back foot, something we haven't seen him do consistently. Oliveira's unpredictability creates chaos, and that's his comfort zone. Topuria lands shots, no doubt. Maybe he even drops Charles, but this isn't new territory for the Bronx. We've seen him against Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje. Charles recovers fast, and that's where things get interesting. In a scramble or a slip from Topuria, Charles seizes control. Whether it's pulling guard, jumping on the back, or chaining together a sweep, he drags the fight into his world. And that's where Ilia makes one mistake, and Charles capitalizes. Charles doesn't just hunt for submission, he drowns you in them. From the body triangle to a sick transition to the armbar, his game is fluid and dangerous. If Topuria ends up in a bad position, Charles doesn't need a second chance. He sinks in a choke, maybe a rear naked, maybe a guillotine in a scramble, and just like that, it's over. The undefeated streak, gone. The throne, gone. Claimed by Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira could beat Ilia Topuria by using his elite grappling and submission game. Oliveira holds the record for most submissions in UFC history and is dangerous anytime the fight hits the ground. If he can drag Topuria into scrambles or pull guard, he has the tools to snatch a neck or a limb quickly. On the feet, Charles is an aggressive striker with powerful knees, front kicks, and sharp combinations, and he's not afraid to take damage to close the distance. His experience against top-tier competition and ability to stay dangerous in chaotic exchanges could be key to catching Topuria in a moment of overconfidence or fatigue. If Charles Oliveira wins against Ilia Topuria, the fight could look like a fast-paced, chaotic war where Oliveira's experience and submission threat overwhelmed Topuria. From the opening bell, Oliveira would likely pressure Topuria with his aggressive Muay Thai, using long-range kicks, knees, and slick combinations to force Topuria to react. Charles thrives in chaos, and if he can lure Ilia into wild exchanges, he may be able to clip him with a knee or a punch in a scramble, or even bait him into grappling exchanges. As the fight hits the mat, whether from a takedown, a knockdown, or a clinch pull, this is where Oliveira becomes most dangerous. Topuria is a strong grappler, but Charles is a different level, constantly attacking with submissions, sweeps, and transitions. If Ilia makes even a slight mistake on the ground, Charles could lock in a guillotine, triangle, or a rear naked choke. Even if Topuria lands shots, Oliveira has shown time and time again that he can recover quickly and still finish fights. If Charles wins, it likely ends by submission or TKO in a wild back and forth battle, with Oliveira surviving early pressure, turning the tide in a scramble, and finishing with his signature jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying Ilia Topuria will lose to Oliveira, but do not count out Charles Oliveira against Ilia Topuria at UFC 317. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.